Olá, minha família! Sejam muito bem-vindos a mais uma das nossas queridas pausas indies, a mais um gameplay e talvez a mais uma série no canal. Será que irei fazer série deste jogo? Não sei, vocês decidem com o vosso like. Façam like se quiserem que eu traga série. Eu acho que isto é com 2 episódios. Eu não tenho o jogo completo. A Press K só traz 2 episódios, que já é bastante bom, não é? Por isso, se quiserem uma série completa, eu terei que ir comprar o jogo. E como vocês viram na introdução, isto é um jogo de espionagem. 00 secretos, crazy. The Low Road. Este jogo ganhou vários prémios, como vocês estão aí a ver. Por isso este jogo promete. Mas eu estive a ver ali algumas reviews. Não sei se o jogo já foi atualizado ou não. Porque eles falaram em alguns bugs e etc. E então vamos ver se o jogo vale ou não a pena. Tá bem? Ok, bora. Se for série, vocês já sabem que isto não tem edição. É mesmo um playthrough ali à old school. The Low Road, new game. Felizmente a linguagem só está em inglês e francês. Parampam. Capítulo 1. Era por episódios. Por chapters. Ok. Penderbrook Motors HQ, Department of Outside Intelligence.
Let me tell you something I wish somebody had told me on my first day. Being a spy is nothing like you see on TV. Showdowns in exotic locales, death-defying car chases, seemingly limitless food and beverage per diems. Those days are over. What we deal with is the collection and manipulation of information, plain and simple. And thanks to the wonders of telephone communication, we don't even have to leave our desks anymore. Is it fun? Not really. Does it pay well? Well, that depends on how long you've been here. But listen, if you keep your head down and do what's asked of you, 15, 20 years down the line, you could have a nice-looking corner office just like this one. Heated underground parking, too.
20 anos.
Not too shabby, is it?
It's rather be real, ok. Temos aqui uma parte do jogo que nós vamos escolher. Isto tem vários tipos: point and click, escolha das nossas falas, e tem muitos tipos de misturados. That sounds amazing. I'd rather to be a real spy. Thanks. Sounds okay.
Sounds okay.
Yeah, I'm not too bowled over by you either, but let's try to make the best of it. Since it's your first day, let's see what they taught you in the academy. The woman we're about to call is Lacey Mendoza. She's a production manager at our latest competitor, Rev Inc. Our top engineer, a fellow by the name of Sebastian Cartwright, was working on a top-secret project when he was abducted along with his plans. We're beginning to think that Cartwright might be involved in whatever they're doing over there at Rev, and possibly against his will. There's 3 things I'm going to need you to find out. 1. Where this test facility is located. 2. What's the easiest point of entry. And 3. Whether or not they have Sebastian. I pulled all the information I could on Lacey and compiled it in this scrapbook. It's not much, but it might help you gild the lily.
Gild the
Any
lily.
questions?
Isso, nunca mais tínhamos daqui. Vamos falar What's Rev Inc.
What's Rev Inc?
No idea. There's nothing on the books to prove it exists. My guess is that it's just a front for one of the big boys.
Vamos. Sei lá, tanta cena. Tell me more about Sebastian. Bora.
Brilliant engineer. Bit of an eccentric. Has a Jones for clean energy.
Já estou tipo em modo Chinese aí. É tipo 20 para as 4 da manhã. Modo Chinese. How do you use the scrapbook?
How do I use the scrapbook?
It's a scrapbook. You turn the pages with your hands and look through it with your eyes. Then your eyes take what they see to your brain, and your brain uses that to come up with ideas. Though maybe not in your case.
Já vimos que temos aqui um patrão assim um bocado engraçadinho, assim com umas piadolas.
Pretend to be someone from her past. Someone she cares for but hasn't kept in touch with. Old classmate, former co-worker, that sort of thing. Whatever you do, don't pretend to be a loan manager. You won't make it past hello.
Enough talk. Let's call her up.
Bora. A nossa primeira missão. Olha a minha mãozinha.
This is an important mission, so make it count.
Tira daqui a pata. Camelo.
Bliss and blessings unto you and yours. This is Lacey. Who's speaking?
This is Sheila from the London branch. This is Linda from Falkland Junta-te. Only the best roommate you ever had. This is Sheila from the London branch. Sei lá, mano. Invite you, Lacey. Invite their wedding Saturday, March. No? As cartridge student. Never the perfect pau. Lacey Mendonça. Lindsay Fellows. Abigail. Está bem da ficha esta parte. Sei lá.
This is Sheila Arbogast from the London branch?
The London branch of what?
Já.
The thing you do, your company.
Já fiz porcaria.
First of all, we're not a company, we're a community. And secondly, we don't have a London branch, but we will.
Don't talk specifics unless you know them to be true. Let's give it another try.
Ok. Já fiz porcaria. Eu já sei o número.
Bliss and blessings unto you and yours. This is Lacey. Who's speaking?
Only the best roommate you ever had.
Only the best roommate you've ever had.
Clara? You sound really different.
Puberdade. Well, it was been over a decade.
So do you. I actually thought you were a man when you first picked up.
Really? Well, it's probably just a bad line or something.
That's probably it.
You're not with Docilio, are you?
Who's Docilio?
Never mind. We've just had a lot of outside interference lately, and we need to be
Docilio.
extra careful about who we speak to. So if you really are Clara, I'm gonna need some proof. Why don't we start with you telling me the address of our old apartment?
Já me cagaste. Ora agora. Address, está aqui. Está aqui um address qualquer. Yeah. 473. 3 bedroom. Está aqui, pois, mano. Legends of Occupation. Espera. Acho que ela chamou Clara, não era? Aqui está aqui. Laceholder. C. Babcock. A. Oh my god. Este está aqui em 42. De Over Terrain. Mas ali diz University. Laceholder. Não sei, mano. Sei lá, olha. Vamos para o 42.
42 Overlook Terrace.
Wow, it really is you! But how on earth did you get this number?
Woo! Bitch! Now it's me that I'm fucking talking about. I found it to your potential. I use it my no. Your ex gave it to me. Yeah.
Your ex gave it to me.
He did? How did he... What did he say?
He says he's ready to change. He's hurt that you left. He thinks you made a terrible mistake.
He thinks thinks you made a terrible mistake.
I suppose that's supposed to be a threat? Well, you can tell him and the rest of his hooded goons that I'll do everything I can to stop their evil ways. And while you're at it, tell him to stop using my idiot friends to do his dirty work.
Next time, you might want to take a closer look at the case file before stepping into it like that. Well, you got 1 out of 3. Not terrible for a first try. Who knows? Maybe in a few years you'll be ready to man the phones for real. Why don't you take a coffee break and then get started on some light clerical work? I think that's more your speed.
Ok. Acho que estava ali qualquer coisa que não devia estar. E agora? Dá para andar? Ou é só point and click? Agora deve ser só point and click, não?
Not much competition in this Employee of the Month game, is there?
Not as long as I'm around.
Ganhaste todas. O empregado do mês. Oh my god. What should I call you?
So, what should I call you? Barney? Mr. Turner?
Folks around here call me Turn.
Turn.
Does that mean they're going to start calling me Kova?
No.
Turn around and don't
Right.
return.
Good talk.
Okay. When our next
When's
case?
our next case?
We don't have a next case. That phone call was a taste of what you might get to do in a few years, after you pay your dues.
I've paid my dues.
I've done 4 years of espionage school. I've paid my dues.
Company policy: all outside intelligence employees must have 2 years' experience before accepting missions. No exceptions.
Let's go on one of your missions then. A real one. Out in the field.
I haven't done field work since I was with the government. If you ask me, waste of time.
You were a government agent. Like the kind that kill people and blow stuff up?
I was, but that was a decade ago, and I don't really like to reminisce.
Why? Did you get fired?
Where did you hear that?
I didn't. I'm just wondering why someone would quit such a cool job to work for a car company.
That's really none of your business. And if I was fired, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
If I was
I'm
fired.
pretty sure you'd be able to tell me if you didn't get fired.
I shouldn't have even told you that I worked there in the first place.
Ah, is that why you got fired?
None of your business.
You got fired.
Yeah. Bem, o que é que eu posso tirar agora destes primeiros minutos? Os diálogos estão engraçados, mas já sabia, se a gente for a Steam ver, parece lá funny. Está engraçado, os diálogos estão bem construídos, as vozes estão fixes, a música também está fixe, e depois tem este estilo de animação único, que faz o jogo também único, e é isso que destaca este jogo dos restantes. Faz-me lembrar aquele jogo que eu trouxe, esta animação assim deste género, a outra série do Old Man Journey, que para quem não viu vai estar aí. É um jogo lindíssimo, muito diferente deste, é um jogo de plataformas, mas é um jogo lindo, e este faz-me lembrar muito esse jogo. A animação. Is there any chance we might be called into the field work?
Is there any chance we might be called in to do field work?
The only way you would be called in to do field work is if every agent in this office were to become incapacitated.
So, like if I made them all sick or got them to quit? Something like that?
Are you planning something?
No, I'm just a very curious person.
Why don't you go be curious somewhere else?
Ok, bye.
I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Suit yourself.
Ok, point and click, vamos por aqui. Ali está a porta, por este lado está o quê? Está nada.
the bathroom.
Thanks for the update.
Acho que não carreguei nele, mas ok. Temos aqui várias coisas para interagir. Aqui só dá o chão. Muito bem. Vamos ali para a porta. Ok, íamos buscar café, certo? Que é a aguinha. E duvido que o café seja para este lado. Olha, café. Café.
Roaming the halls already, are we?
Turns said I could have a break.
Well, now I have to commit 3 of my best agents to undoing the damage you've done with that phone call.
I tried my best.
Oh,
tipo,
I'm
culpa na
sure
família.
you did. But to keep this office running as smoothly as possible, perhaps you'll consider making this break a permanent one.
You want me to quit?
Se acham todos porvalhões, não
Wait,
é?
step down, early retirement without benefits. Why get hung up on titles? All that matters is that you're happy. Why don't you think about it and get back to me?
What the fuck are you?
Who are you?
Motherfucker.
Thornton Penderbrook, Office
Penderbrook.
Manager, Division of Outside Intelligence, Air
Mas não
Accountant,
vou pôr aos vossos filhos.
International
Penderbrook.
Traveler, Raconteur, and Bon Vivant.
Oh, well, my name's Noomi.
Noomi, I'd like to do a field
I'd like to do a
mission.
field mission.
A field mission? Oh, that's rich! Most of our work is handled over the phone these days. We only have one agent in the field. There's no need for any more.
Is there any situation where I could work in the field?
For that to happen, every single agent in this office would have to become indisposed.
So it is possible then.
If that kind
Oh,
of
já tinha dito isso.
wild optimism is what you need to continue your interminable existence, far be it from me to tell you otherwise.
Can I have the code of the what?
Can I have the code for the outbound research division?
The bullpen for the telephone division falls under Mr. Turner's domain, and he prefers to keep that to himself. My only dealings with him is through the company mail system.
Turn doesn't trust you.
It's my understanding that Mr. Turner lost his government position due to information about him being leaked. Ever since then, he's been very particular about office protocols.
I should get back to work.
Before you do, let me ask you a question. Have you ever taken the time to stroll the docile woods?
Are you asking me out on a date?
Are you asking me out on a date?
You think I'd ask a lonely assistant out on a date? Perish the thought! If you're that intent on taking a shortcut up the corporate ladder, you might find more success reaching for one of the lower rungs. I think Agent Horace might be available.
You're disgusting.
Off you go!
Yeah, o gajo é um bocado. Eu não posso ir beber café. Porquê?
Looks like these mail slots connect to the bullpen on the other side.
All inter-agent communication must be approved by yours truly.
Out of order.
Out of order. Guess I'll have to hold it.
Casa de banho está out of order.
Looks like these mail slots connect to the bullpen on the other side.
Preciso de saber qual é que é o botão para.
That desk's a little tall, isn't it?
It's meant for...
Why would anyone want to stand when they could sit?
You'll understand when you're older.
Mas não posso ir aqui à máquina do café.
Locked. Looks like it needs a passcode. That
No.
font's pretty hard to read.
It's not a font, it's a foreign film from Japan.
Well, yeah, I knew that. The Japanese language also has fonts, and this one's pretty hard to read. Good movie?
Utterly breathtaking. It's almost 20 years old and still ahead of its time.
I'd love to see it.
Well, it's very hard to get a hold of. Have to be in the right circles, which you're obviously not.
Ok, então... É isto mesmo. Isto aqui eu
Looks
vou...
like these mail slots connect to the bullpen on the other side.
Ok.
Sure are a lot of people in there. About 50 at least.
Esta porta não dá para abrir.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 0, 0, 1.
Ok. O elevador, não, nada disto.
Looks like I'll need a key card to get this thing to work.
É preciso uma carrada de cenas. O que é que está aqui nesta mala? Não, sequer posso mexer na mala. Quem é que é este senhor?
Hi, I'm Noomi Kovacs.
Well, you must be the latest boy.
Well, Mr. Potter. The latest Hoi Boy?
Oi?
Hoi?
Outside intelligence? Oi. Listen, kid, if you want to stand out and be seen as spectacular, it's best that you take to our office vernacular. Let me introduce myself. Hab Applecott's the name. Equipping agents is my claim to fame. You need gadgetry, you come to me. Forgery too, I'll make you an honorary degree.
Do you have any advice how I can get some
Do you
to
have
the
any
field?
advice on how I can get some field work?
Around here, that's unfortunately Horace's domain. And between you and me, that's a downright shame. He won't use my inventions, says he's found better kinds. But that's only because he pockets everything he finds. If I were in charge, I'd send him on a permanent vacation. But Turn won't do it. I think he fears retaliation.
Could you help me replace...
Could you help me replace Horace in the field?
Well, Horace is more a pain than I'd like to admit. Too loose with his lips and totally lacking in wit. But going out on a limb for a perfect stranger? Why, a stunt like that could put my job in danger.
I promise to return the favor.
And what makes you think you'll be around to repay? Turn's fired assistants after only one day.
With my good looks, awesome.
I'm smart. Practically a genius.
Intelligence is something that one has to prove. All right, go ahead and make your first chess move.
How about a game of checkers? Of checkers instead. The peanut is neither a pie, not a nut.
QB8 to QB7.
There's a pawn in that spot, you crazy cretin. One move in and you're already beaten.
What can I say to impress you today?
There's a step in the right direction. Keep bringing the rhymes and you might pass inspection.
My quick wit and brain will never die, nor will my elephants like me on rye. Feel free to inspect my poetic license, after which will be in our mutual connivance. We'll stand here for weeks on the end, if that's what it takes to call you friend. Good night, parting is such a sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night, with be morrow.
I'll stand here for weeks on end, if that's what it takes to call you friend.
You've impressed me thus far, but how long can that last?
How long as it takes, as long as it outlasts. I'm a visitor from the future. When you find out the answer, you will be somewhat aghast.
As long as it takes, I'll always outlast.
Rhyming a word with itself is a very weak move. If you want to impress me, you better improve. Let's try again. You've impressed me thus far, but how long can that last?
When you find out the answer, you'll be somewhat aghast.
When it comes to Western poetry, you're clearly a beast. Now how about a form that began in the East? The syllable count of 5, 7, 5 is a perfect way to keep the brain cells alive. Now, with a haiku, I'll be impressed through and through, and maybe help you.
The egg is white, pure, and neighboring and bright. Does make it right? I will do what I can, but I can promise success. We know what you need, so don't worry your dumb head, the early birds say. Yes.
The egg is white, pure, unwavering, and bright. Does that make it right?
Eggshell is the word that you should have used instead. You went under par.
I'll do what I can.
We know what you need, so don't worry your dumb head, the early birds say.
Your poetic prowess has left me feeling quite odd. As a man of my word, I'll assist with your fraud. This fake ID should serve you just fine, but if anyone asks, the hands that made them were not mine.
Will this give me access to the photocopier?
Without an official tracker, there's little that card can do. If you want real privileges, you might try a switcheroo.
Who's gonna be dumb enough to fall for that?
Check another floor if you can't find someone nearby. As long as you stay persistent, you're sure to find your guy.
Thanks, Hab.
Oh yeah! I got the fake ID. Now I can buy some fucking drink.
Looks like I'll need a key card to get this thing to work.
I have a keycard. Look at this. Look.
This fake key card doesn't work. Big surprise.
Ok, vamos para baixo. Bem, o jogo está super fixe. Uau! Uau! E pronto, aqui eu me despeço. Pessoal, espero que tenham gostado deste episódio. Se quiserem ver série deste jogo, é só porem o vosso like. Eu vou trazer mais. Só tem o primeiro capítulo e o segundo, por isso é uma série que irá ser curta no canal, a não ser que eu depois compre o jogo, que também é uma possibilidade, tudo depende de vocês. Por favor, não se esqueça de subscrever a este canal. Rumo aos 500 subscritores, iremos construir um exército já assim compactozinho de 500 soldados. Já fazemos alguns estragos aí nos próximos eventos. O que é que vocês dizem? Já sabes, subscreve neste canal se quiseres ver mais jogos indies brutais. É aqui, já sabem, eu sou o Maf e despeço com um grande abraço e vejo-te no meu próximo vídeo. Combinado? Papau!